ready, and racing.
Welcome to the Dogcast for Greyhound Racing SA. Visit grsa.com.au.
Yes, welcome to the Dogcast, brought to you by Greyhound Racing SA. I'm your host, Tim Edwards, joined in the studio by Greyhound Racing SA's racing manager, Shaun Mathieson. How are you, Shaun?
Good, thanks, Tim. Great to be here again in the studios here in the city for another edition of the Dogcast. They're rolling around quite quickly. It was 2 weeks ago we had our last one, but a lot of feature races, so it's a really good time in Greyhound Racing in SA.
Yeah, it's been a big week, of course. We're going to preview the SA Distance Championship final, which is on this Thursday night. We had the heats last week. We're also going to have a look at the back at the Anniversary Cup of Jack's Well winning that race for Cameron Butcher back on the 16th of May. We're also going to have a chat to Ossie Chegia, who's going to join us, I reckon, for the first time on the Dogcast. Got a big chance on Thursday night with Fantastic Radley in Thursday night's feature at Murray Bridge. That's all coming up on this week's edition on the Dogcast.
The Week in Review.
Week in Review, as always, on the Dogcast, brought to us by Fresh Pet Food Co., proud suppliers of fresh pet food for our GAP SA Greyhounds and, of course, in the GAP Prison Program. They're based right here in South Australia. Shaun, visit their website, Fresh Pet Food Co., all one word.com.au for more information. So I thought we'd first of all start, Shaun, let's go back to last Wednesday. We had the heats of the Straight Track Cup. Of course, that final is going to be run today.
Yep.
So for those people listening in this afternoon, we're going to see a terrific race. Let's just touch on the heat winners. Miss Gawler, Aston Olena, Shivano, Ransom's Pride. They were the four heat winners. Now, as far as time-wise, Aston Olena and Shivano ran the quickest. Ransom's Pride and Miss Gawler weren't far off. But it's drawn together a pretty handy field. Let's just have a look at that field. We've got Ransom's Pride in box number 1, Max Hombre in 2, Aston Olena in 3, Aston Hayato in 4, Miss Gawler's got 5, Lavish Pedro 6, Braymore Prince in 7 and Shivano in box 8. Rebecca Romain's got 3 there, Shaun.
Yeah, a fantastic effort by Beck Romain to get the 3 through, and obviously Dave Peckham as well. It's nice to see a few different names in some feature finals. We know Beck's been a great supporter of the straight track, and it was great for Dave Peckham as well, travelling up from Mount Gambier, making the trip regularly, the amount of kilometres that he does to support like Murray Bridge, which we've seen him at. Has been terrific. So it's great he's got them in the final. Just with the field today, Max Hombre from box 2 has been scratched.
Oh, okay.
So number 9, Max Amigo for Lauren Harris goes into box 2. So, I mean, it's going to be one of the outsiders, Max Amigo, but it come out of box 2. Really interesting. The times with all the runners were quite close.
Yeah, it was.
And what do you find down the straight track? What did you think of the final, Tim? How did you think it might play out?
Well, I think it's very even. These straight track races, you know, it's all won in the first 5 or 6 metres. As soon as boxes open, the greyhounds either go in or they go out. I think Shivano box 8's the one to beat. I really do. I think it's a really good straight track greyhound. Rebecca Romain's had a wonderful record at Murray Bridge down the straight track. Not just the straight track, but also the Murray Bridge turn track as well. But her team's flying, and I think she'll win the race, whether it's with Shivano. Ransom's Pride, I think, is a chance to draw on the inside, but I'd be going Shivano. Lavish Pedro's a greyhound that loves the straight track too, so he could easily improve on what he's been doing. Well,
Lavish Pedro did win this race last year, the inaugural edition of the Straight Track Cup. So, and he's like double-figure odds, I think, today in the markets, which is amazing, but it shows you the depth and quality of the field. I'm with you, Tim. I think that Shivano, drawn box 8, will like it out there, loves the straight track, and will be very hard to beat. The race favourite for Dave Peckham, Aston Olena, very fast dog and will be hard to beat. Just with Aston Olena, I think that she's inclined to get out a little bit. And Aston Hayato, the kennel mate, I know likes to get down to the rail. So I'm just a bit worried if she didn't begin, that she might find a little bit of trouble. And as you mentioned, he might find a bit of trouble. As you mentioned, the first 5-10 metres will dictate what happens in the race. I think Shivano out wide will get a clear run, be really hard to beat. Yeah,
I think it's the best dog in the race, Shivano, drawn out deep. That's the straight track. Of course, we had the heats there last Wednesday. Good luck to everyone involved in that. The Anniversary Cup, which we spoke about on the last Dogcast, Shaun. Now, we mentioned Jack's Well. Now, he didn't ping, but he did begin better than what he had been, and he lobbed second down the back, and He was able to run down Zipping Sultan, and once those two lobbed 1-2 in the race, there was nothing that was going to run them down from behind because they're both very strong types. And it took a fair bit for Jackswell to run down Zipping Sultan, though.
Absolutely. You never like to be wrong, but obviously Cam Butcher, you risk when you sort of say the dog might not begin or the dog might not. This a feature race. He just knows how to win.
Yep.
Jackswell, certainly a few runs at Gawler have helped. And landing second, he is a good race dog. We've always mentioned that. He finds his way through fields. Landing second, Zipping Sultan gave him plenty to chase and was a very strong performance. So I'd be following him with confidence in the future. It was a high-quality race. So those top two that were out in front made it really difficult for Spring Vinny, who finished third, to fly in fourth. But again, it was such a high-quality field. All of those greyhounds have won many races and will continue to win. But congratulations again to Cam Butcher with Jackswell. He now heads to the Howard Ashton Group 3 series, and those heats will be on Sunday night at Gawler.
Right.
So a quick backup for Jackswell, but I mean, he'll be very hard to beat. That's a restricted age race for SA bred dogs. So he's just taken out the Open Anniversary Cup. He'll be really hard to beat through that series.
Yeah, and of course we missed Sir Truculent for the distance heats last week, which we'll talk about in a moment. But Sir Truculent made his way over to Victoria, and he put in a slashing run there. He runs second in the heat of the Sandown Cup. Now, how do you think he'll play it on Thursday night there, Shaun?
Well, I've always been, my belief has always been with Sir Truculent, he always goes better the next week.
Yep.
So he unfortunately it landed the same night as our SA Distance Championship, but he's now progressed his way through to a Group 1 final, 175,000 to the winner.
Wow.
He's drawn box 3 in the final. Zach Manelli's drawn 1, who's the race favourite. Stanley Road's drawn 6. And Stanley Road beat Sir Truculent in the Bold Trease going back a few months ago. So I think Sir Truculent, with natural improvement from the week to week, he'll be really hard to beat. I could see him easily landing third or fourth in behind the speed of Zach Manelli. And if there's a slight chink in Zach Manelli, I think the truck will be getting home hard. He's been a wonderful greyhound. I think he can run another place, and it would be wonderful if we saw him swooping up around the outside and Zach Manelli starting to plot a little bit. But he'll run a great race for SA and Wally Harkins. And it was a great run in running second last week. He will improve. Yep. So I give him a big chance.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing what he can do there on Thursday night. Now, we've got our feature night being this Thursday night, the Distance Championship final. Let's check back on the heats that were run last Thursday. Heat number 1. Now, Springvale Anna was able to win this race. Burn Time went out a very short price favourite. I mentioned prior to the race, Shaun, that the Burn Time's risk was going to be that he hadn't been to Murray Bridge before, and the fact that he drew the inside where I would have preferred him to draw outside. He's had that look now. He was a bit flat early. He did his best work late to run on, but Springvale Anna, nothing taken away from her. She was brilliant. Yeah,
absolutely. Springvale Anna, 39.39, a really good run. Bob Fletcher, he's done a wonderful job with her since he got her from Gavin Harris. Put herself into the race nicely and charged home. Burn Time, box 1. All he wanted to do initially was get off the rail. Yep. Took him a long time to get off the rail, and he qualified, which I think at the end of the day, they probably just wanted to make sure they qualified.
And he got his box in the final.
He's got his box in the final out in box 8. So he'll be a huge player when we talk about the final. But the first 2 qualified over the 680 metres. It's been a great addition to the Murray Bridge track right in front of the patron facility.
It's a great spot.
Oh, fantastic. So well done to Bob progressing through, and he's a live chance in the final.
Yep, certainly. So Shadowburner ran third in that race, and Powerstone was very good early. He got tied the last 50, but there was money for him at big odds, and he ran well. I'd follow Powerstone. He's ready to win again. Heat number 2, Fantastic Radley. Now, this was an interesting betting race. Fantastic Radley blew out in the market. First up for Ossie Chegia. I think everyone thought they were on track that potentially he was probably a run short because he just blew in the market. But he was absolutely outstanding. He ran 38.65, defeating Bedrock Fred and Tapestry Tears. And the way he began, and he's only going to be better on that run, he's going to take some beating in the final.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit soft in the market because I think Aussie trialled him prior and he didn't go as well as probably what people expected.
Yeah.
Based on his New South Wales form, he has very good New South Wales form. He started short in the market in New South Wales before. But he came out, began well, was strong through the middle stages and just ran away from the 6-length winner, 38.65. reduced the previous time mark. Now, we're not talking track records at the moment. We haven't had enough racing, but he now sets the new time standard by 0.4 of a second. So he took a big chunk out of it. Very impressive and, very hard to beat. And first up, you'd think he will be better on Thursday night.
Yeah, visually he was looking outstanding there on Thursday night. He beat Bedrock Fred and Tapestry Tears. As I said, he ran good time. Heat number 3 was taken out by Gary's Miracle. Now, this was the race, I guess, that Gary's Miracle was stepping out to this distance for the first time, and we sort of thought, probably a little bit too far for her. But the way she did it, she was challenged at the top of the home straight. She drew clear. She powered away in the end to win well, and she defeated New Year Tears and Just Wins Boss, who were both good in defeat. But, Gary's Miracle, everything Michael Stewart is giving her the task to do at the moment, she's winning.
Well, I think she's possibly becoming one of your favourite greyhounds to call, Tim,
good.
as well, because she is taking every challenge full on and doing an amazing job. They say stepped up to the 680. She got the job done. She's such a professional, jumps to the front, gives everything a chance to beat her.
She might be the new queen, Shaun.
She might be.
Wrong Lucy gone. She might be the new one.
Could be. New Year Tears was a good run. He took out the Bay Road Queen the start before.
Yeah.
Copped a check early, got a bit back and charged home. Just Wins Boss was first up for Ben Rawlings from WA. Expected to go a bit better in the final. Clearly a dog that wants the rails because it really wanted to get up the inside of Gary's Miracle down the back straight and couldn't. So, again, another week. I think some of these dogs you might see some good improvement on Thursday night.
Yeah, and just touching on a couple of other winners there last Thursday. Alfieri, good to see him back winning again. He ran 29.85. We sort of wasn't sure whether he was wanting the line as best as he could, but he is. He showed it on Thursday, Shaun. He was back.
Absolutely. Good for Bill Archie. I know we spoke. He's been working hard. Isn't it amazing when we sort of go a little bit soft on some of these dogs? They prove you wrong because they're quality dogs, and you always got to be careful what you say. But good on to Bill. We know Alfieri, what a wonderful dog he is, and he loves the Murray Bridge track.
He does, yep. And Rushers was back in town, well backed in the markets too. He was able to show surprisingly good speed. He was able to hold the rail, and he burst clear to win and run 25.20. So good to see him back for the Rasmussens.
Well, I think, Tim, you mentioned through the Gawler, the Anniversary Cup at Gawler, that his performance in the heat was amazing and he was a live chance in the final. He was in a 4-5 race and he had his box as well. So, again, the speed he showed was excellent and he produced. So, I think for these types of dogs, you'd like to see them be consistent all the time. They are dogs after all. But the ability that Rushers has, it's good to see him putting it together.
Yeah, well, that was the week in review. Thanks to Fresh Pet Food Co., proud suppliers of fresh pet food here in South Australia. They're based right here. Get online, check them out. Fresh Pet Food Co., all one word, .com.au.
The preview.
Yeah, the preview this week, of always, is brought to us by SA Greyhound Tips Twitter feed. Free tips for SA Metro Greyhound meetings. Jump on Twitter, get on board, search @TheDogsSA, and as always, gamble responsibly. So we have a big night Thursday night, Shaun. It's a terrific card there at Murray Bridge. 12-race program, the first to go at local time of 6:38. And let's touch on the final field of the distance final because it has drawn together a super field. We've got Tapestry Tears, who's come up with box 1 for Lauren Harris. Bedrock Fred for Shirley Barber in box 2. Springvale Anna's come up with 3 for Bobby Fletcher. 4 is Just Wins Boss for Benny Rawlings. 5 is Gary's Miracle. Although I think they'll tear the place down if she wins up there on Thursday night. Michael Stewart. 6 New Year Tears, Ryan Tugwell. 7 Fantastic Radley, Ossie Chegia. And number 8, Burn Time for Keith Helmuth from Victoria has got his box, as we said.
Yep.
So, okay, so I think what I'm predicting is going to happen here, Shaun, is Gary's Miracle, the way she's beginning, she's going to fire out. She's going to look for the lead. If she gets it, she's going to be very hard to get past. I think there's 2 dogs that can get past her, and that's Fantastic Radley and Burn Time. They're boxed well out wide. I think they're both going to run super. And I think the smoky in the race is Just Wins Boss, because what we saw of Just Wins Boss last week is it'll get better. So I'm thinking the 5, the 7, the 8, and the 4. If I was tipping in the race, I'd probably have Burn Time just ahead, only because he's been to the track now and he's got his box.
Yeah, I think you're a very good judge, Tim, because I actually agree with that assessment of the race. Burn Time could have been competing at Sandown in the Group 1 series because it ran, it was placed behind Zach Manelli, was beaten 11 lengths prior to coming to Adelaide. I think they identified the one-turn track at the bridge as something that burn time would be suited by and has got the box. So I'm pretty confident that burn time will be ready to go on Thursday night. Box 8. He's got super form in Victoria, burn time, and we did see him in Adelaide a few months ago and beat Sir Truculent on level terms over the 7:31. He's a very, very good dog. So I'd have him on top. Agree with you about Gary's Miracle. Has the speed to jump to the front and is very hard to get past. Fantastic Radley, you just have to be impressed by the way that dog performed, and again, will only be improved. And like you mentioned with Just Wins Boss, it's got solid 700-metre form. Didn't get a lot of luck down the back straight last week, so expect it to be improved for the outing. So I think in looking at the race, we've gone towards the really high-quality staying types, I think. The likes of Bedrock Fred, Springvale Anna, they've been doing a wonderful job and they will run well. But I'm just leaning more towards burn time.
Yeah, they'll run well. They're just going to have to lift that bit higher to compete against some of these. I think New Year Tears, if there was going to be a blowout, could be this dog. It's racing really well for Ryan Tugwell.
Yep.
It knows the track. If it gets a bit of luck early, it's going to be probably double figures coming into the race. So if you wanted to back one at a price, it might be it.
He might get a nice card across with Gary's Miracle.
Yeah.
And on pace, I think he'd be a lot closer than what he was in the heats, and he's very strong. He showed that through the Bay Road Queen and in the heat. So again, a really terrific addition to the SA Distance Championship. Whilst it's over the 680 at the bridge, it's been really interesting and good. Obviously, we'll be back there at Angle Park next year, but I think it'll be a deserving winner, whoever can take it out.
Yeah, well, if Gary's Miracle wins, we might have to get Michael Stewart or Tamika on the program because there's a bit of a story to Gary's Miracle's name. So we may have to get Mick or Tamika on to tell that story because this Greyhound's probably in the top 3 right now in South Australia with Sir Truculent and Jack's Well as our headline acts. So good luck to all concerned there on Thursday night in that particular race. 7,500 to the winner, Shaun?
Yeah, that would be correct. 7,500, yes. Yep. I'm just looking at it there.
Yeah, 7,000. So good money there on Thursday night at Murray Bridge. And I must admit, last Thursday night, Shaun, there was a big crowd up there.
Yeah.
Really good crowd in for the heat. So no doubt those people in Murray Bridge are starting to support these Thursday nights.
Yeah, I think the venue is well patronised. The quality of the dogs, and we are seeing that. And it's another metro meeting here. So and it's being well supported by industry. All these wonderful dogs are getting to the bridge. 680, 530, 455. Just to touch on Tim, and we saw a couple of track records on Monday night with the high quality of dogs, Craigie Island and Fantastic Shell.
Yep.
Both ran track records, and we'll talk to Ossie a bit more about Fantastic Shell. But just having these really highly performed dogs at the bridge is attracting the crowds. Urge anyone to get there. Book if you need to make sure you get your seat. And you're nice and close to the track. You got the straight track and you got the one turn. Great facilities there. So on a Thursday night at the moment, while Angle Park is shut down, I encourage you to get out there.
Yeah, good to see Golden Knight, our Adelaide Cup winner, of course, from last year, running there Thursday night too.
Unfortunately,
Scratch?
Golden Knight was in for Monday night
Right.
and was a late scratching due to weight variation. Again, he would have been great to see him go around on Thursday night. So I think another couple of weeks and then Troy will have him back.
All right, that would have been a good thrill to see him there. What was your best on the program there, Shaun?
My best, now we're under a bit of pressure because last edition, Tim, you carried the team.
I did. There was a couple of people online that took the all up, Shaun, and you let them down.
I did let them down, so hopefully I can redeem myself, and hopefully those supporters of the show can get on both of ours.
Yep.
I like race 11, number 5, Raging Redline for Tony Rasmussen. Good performed dog. Was a bit unlucky last start, I think running 4th. I think he'll get a much better run across early doors. I expect it to possibly lead.
Yep.
And if it does, it'll be very hard to beat. But I like him as my best of the night, race 11, number 5, Raging Redline.
Yeah, he's got the speed. He should be up there nice and close. I went with race 6, number 3, Shadow Burner. I reckon he's finally starting to get down towards the inside where he needs it. And he ran, of course, in the heats of the distance championship too. So this will be a class drop for him. He needs it close to the rail. He's a run-on type, so I can just see him slotting in third or fourth down the back. I think he's got the class to run past all these. Really keen on him. Race 6, number 3. He's ready to win Shadow Burner, and he is my best on the program. But it is a good program. The feature race is race number 8. And that, of course, is run at 9:15 local time. So that's been our preview. That's all thanks to the SA Greyhound Tips Twitter feed. Free tips for SA Metro Greyhound meetings. Get on Twitter, search @TheDogsSA, and get on board. And as always, gamble responsibly.
The interview.
Yeah, the interview this week on the Dogcast. We're focusing, of course, on the Distance Championship final on Thursday night. And Ossie Chegia is a first-timer here on the Dogcast. He's about to join us now. How are you, Ossie?
G'day, mate. How you going?
Good, thanks, Ossie. You've got Tim Edwards and Shaun Mathieson here, mate. First of all, congratulations on last Thursday night. Now, 4 winners on a program. Is that a record for you?
No, we had it once before, but daylight in between.
Yeah, I was going to say,
a long time.
You normally get 1 or 2 winners, but 4's an outstanding effort.
Yeah, it was. They all went well.
How many dogs in the kennel, Ossie, out of the 4 winners last week? 7 in total?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And what was the biggest thrill last Thursday night? Getting the runner into the final, or was it something else?
Something else. I know for sure. He was our first starter, for us, and he went really well. I didn't expect him to go that good, but he did. Hopefully, he continues on tomorrow night.
Yeah, you mentioned that you didn't think he would go as well as he did. Now he blew in the
I
mark.
thought he'd go all right.
Yeah,
I thought he'd go okay, but not that fast.
Yeah, he blew in the market, Ossie, before the race, and in the end, he just put him away so easily. He was just so impressive.
Yes, he is. He can do that. If he on his night, he can do anything.
How did you get him, Ossie?
We bought him from Jason Fletcher. We usually buy, we get our first choice to the anything for sale that he's got.
Yep.
If we want him, we get him. We got a new one this week. His name is Fantastic Victor. He's with Barry Stewart at the moment. So, yeah.
I was going to say, had he seen the track before, Ossie? Had he trialled up there before last Thursday?
Yes, he did, but he only went to 39.32.
Okay.
So, he improved quite a bit on his second go.
Yeah.
And I think he's that type of dog that he likes a bit of competition, with other dogs in there.
Yeah. How's he pulled up since that run?
Not too bad. A couple of little niggly little sore spots, but it's not too bad.
Okay, so you expect him to...
Hopefully he's 100% tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you expect him to be right up there tomorrow night?
No, I don't think so. I think he's going to be about midfield because he's coming out of the wide draw and hopefully gets a clear run without any interference. It warms up halfway around, so I don't think he's going to be near the lead.
Have you had a look at the race, and who are your main dangers, do you think, Ossie?
No, I think all of them, really. I mean, they can all run, so, whoever gets the break and the luck, I think, it'll go well.
One of your other dogs that won there last Thursday was pretty impressive, Terrific Keith. He's a greyhound that's only been in your care for a short time, but he seems to be improving all the time.
Yes, he is. He's going along, really well, and he's not going to be in for a week probably. So try and pick some races for him, and he's going along good.
Did he always show you ability? Were you keen on him?
Oh, yeah, he only went... the first start we gave him, I think it was 395 at Murray Bridge, and he went within half a head of, breaking the record there. So he can run.
Okay.
But he likes it out wide.
Ossie, another dog that you've got in on Thursday night, Fantastic Shell, qualified through the heats last Thursday night and drawn 5 in race 4. She returned to form last Thursday night. There was a little bit of interference and she charged home. to get the win. And then midweek on the Monday night, she's come out and she's broken the track record over the 5:30, running 29:48. Were you surprised at how well she went on Monday?
Well, it always surprised, but unfortunately she's going to be scratched today because she pulled up with a sore left wrist.
Okay.
Yeah, so she'll be out for a couple of weeks.
But she's been terrific.
That's why she went so wide, into the home straight.
Yep. But she backed it up
on. A good job.
She did a good job then on the Monday night to set the track record as well.
Yeah, she did. Yes, she did. Yes. Yeah, I mean, they're all going good at the moment. So I don't know how long that will last. But when you only got a small team, well, you try and get as much as you can out of it while they're going good.
Ossie, your name's been in the race book for many years. Where did your love of greyhound racing start from?
It started in 1970.
Okay.
That's how long we've been in it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Bought my first pup out of the Bolivar racetrack.
Wow.
One morning, and went on from there.
Yeah, right. And over the years, have you had any top-line greyhounds that spring to memory, that bring back a lot of memories for you?
Yeah, look, there's always been a handy one, but we won 2 Gawler Cups.
Yep.
With 2 different dogs, and we made the distance championship in Sydney with one of the others, and that was probably about 20 years ago, I guess.
Have you? I was going to say, have you always only had the 6 or 7 dogs in the kennel, or have you had more at a time?
No, we used to have about 20 in work when we first moved down here, but then we cut it back to about 10 max. So made it a lot easier.
And that new one of yours, Fantastic Victor, when are we likely to see him out at the racetrack?
Well, he's at Barry Stewart's. He only arrived Monday, and he's going to train him for as long as he wants to.
Yep.
We take it in turns a little bit. So, I would say a couple of weeks. I would suggest he's been paid up for the Gawler produce.
Okay. Okay. So he must have He must have some ability then.
Oh, he has. He's won a few in Sydney. So he's got ability, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's hope the success continues on Thursday night, Ossie. 4 winners last week. Obviously, you won't get 4 this week because you haven't got as many runners in. But I think you'd be happy just to win the SA Distance Championship, wouldn't you?
Just the one will do. Thanks.
Yeah. That's your order for the week.
That's it.
Yeah. Best of luck, Ossie.
All right. Thanks very much, guys.
Good luck, Ossie. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ossie
Bye-bye.
Chegia there, our guest on the Dogcast. Shaun, he had a big week last week, so he's done that. He's had some success in the past with multiple winners, but 4 winners. He's done that once before, I think he said, a long time ago. So it's been a while. It's hard to do, you know what I mean? You can have a lot of greyhounds, but look at the Rasmussens. They have a lot of greyhounds in, but it's very rare they get 4 winners on one day.
Well, he only took 5 to the track. He's only got 7 in work. So to get 4 winners, a wonderful achievement. We wish him and all the competitors best of luck in the final on Thursday night. It's going to be a great edition of the SA Distance Championship. And hopefully that success continues for Ossie.
Yep, best of luck to him. And that's been another edition of the Dogcast, of course. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. But good luck to everybody participating in the SA Distance Championship final tomorrow night.